Charges Alexander. Chapman for three. He is hard to believe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper for another recap of, I don't want to say it's just basketball events because it's more than just basketball tonight, because the bigger occasion is the Los Angeles Rams advancing to the NFC Championship for the second time in the 6 years that they've been back in Los Angeles. But before we get into all that, make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow me on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. So let's get right into it. You know, if you're a Rams fan watching this for the first time, I just want to say I am a basketball guy, and I really became a Rams fan when they moved to LA because I'm an LA guy. I'm LA through and through. So when I said my whole life, when a team came to Los Angeles, that was going to be my team. And I waited for my whole life. I really didn't jump on any bandwagons. I got some tempting offers, but I did not end up joining anyone else because I'm just an LA guy. There was no connection there. And I remember the night we got the Rams, I woke up from a nap. It was January 12th, 2016. Woke up from a nap and I saw the location, Rams to relocate to Inglewood in 2016. One of the best days of my life. And I went to the first 4 games, as you guys saw in that last video in the vlog. If you guys haven't checked out the vlog of my experience at SoFi Stadium the other night for the wild card game against the Cardinals, check that out. It was just electric. One of the best sporting events I've ever attended. And it's just been a dream to have a football team. And today, you know, it was painful. You know, I was in Massachusetts. I don't know if I've talked about this on Dime Dropper too much, but I was in Massachusetts for the Super Bowl. You know, I went to UMass for the Super Bowl when we lost to the Pats. And that was torture, especially coming off a couple months after we had lost the World Series to the Red Sox. I'm a Dodger fan, of course, as well. And it was really painful. I was getting made fun of. You see everybody just clowning us. And, I was getting messed with. But that's what makes moments like this that much sweeter. Playing Tom Brady, the defending champions. You know, for years, I'm just watching these games. And I'm just like, yeah, Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever, you know, watching in my time, okay? I think everybody considers most people consider him the greatest now with his resume, but I'm never going to I have to be consistent with the way I do basketball, same with football. I don't know enough, so I'm not going to talk about the past and other eras and stuff that I don't really know about. Resume-wise though, Brady's body of work is unquestioned. And it's just amazing going up against him and having a team that I root for, represents me and my city, my community in the NFL playoffs that everybody's watching. And the second time we've gotten to go against Brady, and I've been hearing all week going into this game, Rams pass rush against Brady, that O-line is a little weakened. You know, Tristan Wirfs, I believe is his name. He was on the top 100 as one of the as a tackle, offensive tackle. And I know there were some other injuries with the Bucs offensive line, and you can see that D-line and with our pass rush and guys like Von Miller coming off the edge, man. It was amazing to see Von Miller both last week and today in action. I mean, this guy, he's got the resume for a reason. He's a champion, Super Bowl MVP, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's a Super Bowl MVP. He was. And he's just been amazing so far in these first 2 games. Very active. Of course, Aaron Donald, everyone knows what's going to happen with him. In my biased opinion, the best football player in the world and has been for like 2 or 3 years. And obviously, it was huge last year that he was injured, which cost us against Green Bay. And today, I just love the way we came out. Again, just like the Cardinals game, we smacked the opposition in the face to start the game. Second half, though, was a different story. But to start the game, we were great. Defensively, we were great. We didn't give them much on their first series, and then of a variety of plays. And shout out to McVay and the coaching staff. A variety of plays and a variety of players involved in the attack on the first drive that got us a field goal. Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyler Higbee, Tyler Higbee's pretty much been with us since the beginning, since we moved back to LA, since I've been a fan. So it's cool to see how far he's come, how much better he's gotten every year. And then, of course, speaking of gotten better every year, Cooper Kupp, King Koopa. He's been unbelievable. And again, today, fantastic. But Odell Beckham Jr., it's been really good to see us go to him in these first quarters. We did it last game and we did it again today. And, this is a team we were talking about a couple years ago, even when we went to the Super Bowl against the Pats. We didn't have elite receivers, Pro Bowl level receivers. Robert Woods good, Brandon Cooks good, Cooper Kupp is good, but nobody's that guy you could try to throw it to him and make a play. You can, drop a play for him or run a play for him, and he's just going to make something happen. And we have multiple of those guys now. We have Cooper Kupp, and now we have Odell Beckham Jr. And they were in full effect today. And just the fact, I just think, though, the defense, just the way that we held Tampa, we always had Brady worried. And at one point, Mike Evans, he just dropped the ball, like a routine ball he'd always catch. And you could just tell they were flustered in that first half. Like, we really took it to him. And you just got to give credit all the way around. I thought Matt Stafford, again, composed. Cam Akers was getting into the mix. Just great variety. And it's been huge, getting Cam Akers back for these playoffs to, mix up our attack, especially with Henderson going down. Was Cam Akers flawless? Absolutely not. We're going to talk about that more as it continues. But, we had that deep ball to Cooper Kupp, I believe, in the first half from Matt Stafford. And we gained a substantial lead in that first half. And I just thought there was a chance we were going to run away with it, but I know too well as a sports fan, especially when you have Tom Brady on the other side, and we've seen him make comebacks of great proportions, never to get too comfortable. Never to get too comfortable. But, 20-3, we get an interception, and that when you get the interception, that's when you're thinking like, oh man, this is just our day. But the fumble to end the half, we looked like we were running the ball, going for a field goal to end the half and make it 23-3, knowing that we were coming out in the second half, receiving the ball. And Cam Akers was, reviewed whether he was down or he had lost the ball, and he lost the ball, and it was crucial. And I thought right then and there, we gave them a window there in the second half to come back. But we came out with a touchdown shortly after to start the second half, so I thought we were good to go. I thought 27-3, we're solid. But Tampa got a lifeline when Cooper Kupp fumbled the ball, and they got great field position off of that and scored a touchdown shortly after to make it 27-13, two-possession game, and then got us to punt right after. That's when I started getting a little worried because I know, what Brady's capable of. But luckily, we forced a fumble, and Von Miller recovered, and that was huge. After that, I thought we had him. But the most catastrophic thing happened where Brian Allen, I don't know if it was just the noise of the Tampa fans getting to him and they couldn't hear each other, and Brian Allen thought he heard Matt Stafford, called for the snap, and he threw it. Oh, he just wasn't ready for it. He just threw it up, and for them to recover again, good field position. That was when I was like, oh my God, this started to feel like a Clippers type of situation right here. Like straight up 2014 game 5, like Clippers type of situation. I thought we were going to choke this away. But thankfully, we got them to turn the ball over on downs. Our defense held it down, and we got into good field position for a field goal. But Gay missed the 48-yarder or 49-yarder. And I was like, oh my goodness, we are just leaving them in this game. And even with 4 minutes left, we were still up 27-13. It was 27-13 for a minute. And I still didn't fully feel comfortable. And then, of course, you had them scoring a touchdown because Brady just slung it down the field like that. And when he did that all the way down to that was Mike Evans, wasn't it, on single coverage? We did a really good job overall, though, throughout the game, the secondary and obviously the pass rush and everybody of just limiting Mike Evans for the most part. But that was just an amazing play. And Tom Brady, that was when I started getting scared. Like, yo, is he about to take over this game? Like, Jesus, this is what going against Brady is like in the playoffs? He's about to just will them to victory. And Cam Akers, when we're running the ball, don't throw the ball. Traditional football, don't throw the ball. Don't want to get intercepted. Cam Akers fumbled again, giving them great field position for another touchdown in which they got. I thought we're going to overtime. We're about to choke this. All the momentum's with the stadium. But the guy that was questioned the most of any player on the Rams, Matt Staff Daddy Stafford, making the big play. 20-yard pass to Cooper Kupp, and then the 44-yard pass down the field. Cooper Kupp again doing what he's been doing all season long, creating opportunities for Staff to show off that arm and to show off his talent with actual talent and with great coaching and great backing all the way around. And that's what Matt Stafford has shown in this playoffs. I'm not going to lie. You can go back to some previous lives. I don't talk football that much on this show, but what I have said, when people ask me, how did I feel coming into the playoffs? I was nervous about Stafford. He hadn't been in these big of moments that much in his career, even though he's been in the league for a while. He was turning the ball over recklessly to end the season. But with, no fumbles, I believe, no fumbles and no interceptions in the playoffs, he has been unbelievable. And that was just that's got to be the moment of his career, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sharp on the football history, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not the biggest moment of his career? We are going to the NFC Championship, ladies and gentlemen. The LA Rams, my LA Rams, are going to the NFC Championship for the second time in 6 years that they've been here. It's just like every single season of the Rams here in LA for me in my life has taken a different story. Like I graduated high school and the Rams moved. I heard the announcement my senior year of high school, my freshman year of college, and I was still here at Cal State Northridge. I went to the first 4 games. I was with my sister at that first game against the Seahawks. I wanted to be part of that experience to be at the first Rams game. And I remember it. It was no touchdowns, only field goals. Shout out to Greg Zerline, always doing the job. And then I went to a game against the Bills, and shout out to the Bills. What an unbelievable, just one of the best overall playoffs that I've remembered in my lifetime of the NFL. Obviously, it's so much better when your team's involved, and that's only been a couple of playoffs for me. But just all the way around, I mean, you had 2 game-winning field goals yesterday with Cincinnati and San Francisco. And then today, you have the game-winning. Shout out to Matt Gay. Oh, my God, I can't forget him with the game-winning field goal doing the business. Shades of Greg Zerline, but not nearly as far, obviously, in the Superdome against New Orleans. Just game-winning playoff field goal for my LA Rams. But Matt Gay, shout out to him. He's just been great all season long and big time right there. And by the way, shout out to the best punter in football, one of the greatest. And I don't even care if there's another punter that's statistically close to him. I don't watch other teams like that. I don't give a shit. Johnny Heck is that freaking dude. He's been here since the first game. I've been back. I went to they moved here, and he is the man. Always does the business. Like literally never makes a bad punt. I don't even know if he's ever made a bad punt. I don't know if he's ever made a bad punt. Anyway, it's just unbelievable. First, so shout out to the Buffalo Bills. Great games today. Game-winning field goal again today, and then a overtime game, just back and forth, back and forth. The amount of lead changes and touchdowns in those last 2 minutes of the game today in Kansas City was unbelievable. Just incredible quarterback play from Josh Allen, who's just a really great rising quarterback in the league. And obviously Pat Mahomes, who people are saying, talent-wise is the best they've ever seen. So comment below. Is Mahomes the most talented quarterback you've ever seen in your life? Is he the greatest quarterback talent-wise ever? If you've been watching football long enough to have a valid opinion on that or know the history of the game well enough. But man, that was an incredible finish. My heart goes out to the Buffalo Bills fans because I sympathize with them as a fan of the Clippers, a fan of a team that sometimes you question if they're cursed. Four Falls of Buffalo, great 30 for 30. You guys should all check that out. It's the 4 Super Bowls that the Bills lost in a row to begin the 90s. And that game felt like you just add that to the list because they looked like they had it so many times in that last 2 minutes. In those last 2 minutes, Patrick Mahomes just making plays. Travis Kelce, just been one of the best tight end in the league for a couple of years now, but he's just been fantastic for a while now. And Harrison Butker came up big and then continue. Although I hate a lot of controversy tonight about the rules, the college rules being better and like Josh Allen not getting a chance to rebuttal. That sucks. It just comes down to a coin flip. I agree they should change the rules, but it is what it is. I had no preference in the game. I kind of wanted the Bills to win. I'm hoping for the Bengals, honestly. The Chiefs just won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And they were at the Super Bowl last year. So I'm trying to see the Bengals in the Super Bowl come over here and get destroyed by the California and NFC soon-to-be champions, the LA Rams. What a stage we have set here. The road to the Super Bowl and Lombardi runs through SoFi Stadium here in Los Angeles, in Inglewood, if you want to get specific. It's unbelievable. You cannot even script it. It felt a little bit fluky when we beat the Saints in 2018. The game took place in 2019, but it represented the 2018 season. But this year, it's been up and down at times this season. We started out well, had a little rough patch in the middle, closed out strong. But there's been hype going into this season. First season with fans at SoFi Stadium. Shades of the first season at Staples Center for the Lakers in terms of, obviously, their first season was with fans because no pandemic, 99, 2000. And they won the championship. For us to have the Super Bowl here in Los Angeles and the opportunity given to us by the Niners beating the Packers, that we get to host an NFC championship game at SoFi Stadium as well, giving us the opportunity to win 2 home games to win the whole shebang. It's almost too good to be true. It's an opportunity they cannot squander, honestly. And here's the thing. It's like this weird thing with me and the Rams where it's like I feel spoiled that I'm even talking about this so much because I got friends that are, besides the Pats fans, like back in Massachusetts, they are spoiled of the bunch. But that's the thing. Like a team like the Pats has been dominant for a large portion of my life. I know fans that are Redskins fans. I know fans that are Minnesota Vikings fans that haven't, even Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, even the Titans haven't seen as much success as I've seen in my 6 years being a fan of my team. Like I seen my team make a Super Bowl already. There's not a lot of teams that have made the Super Bowl in the last 20 years. It's more than other sports like the NBA. That's what I love about football. Like I love that, the Kansas City Chiefs went from like in the gutter. Now they have Mahomes and all these stars and they won the Super Bowl. I love the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills were about this close to playing each other in the AFC Championship next week. And they have not been great in my life at all. I just love that about football because there's so many parts that are needed to build a Super Bowl championship contending roster. And I found that out my first year as a Rams fan, when I was going to games, those first 4 games, Seattle, Buffalo, Miami, and Carolina. I saw how important an O-line was. Like good coach was. And that's what I've learned throughout these years. And obviously, you need good health as well. Football's a game with a lot of injuries. It's a physical game, and you just need some health. Last year we lacked Aaron Donald. In the Super Bowl year, we played the Pats. If I'm not mistaken, Cooper Kupp didn't play. So, and in the year after the Super Bowl, a lot of our O-linemen were out. I'm pretty sure Rob Havenstein missed games. And shout out to Rob Havenstein. He's been with us since the first year we moved to LA since I've been a fan. And he's been one of our starting tackles for this whole time. And he's just done a great job over his years. And also shout out to Andrew Whitworth, who has completely changed his team since he came. And I'm just so proud of this team. Again, sophomore year when I went to UMass, we went to the playoffs, lost the Atlanta Falcons. And then my junior year, Super Bowl, senior year, didn't even make the playoffs. Came back here. SoFi Stadium opened up and nobody could go to the games. Last season, I'm not going to lie, guys, it's pretty foggy. This season, for personal reasons, started out rocky for me. I wasn't watching too many games. That's something I have to keep off the pod, off the camera, but I was not. That's why I wasn't talking about it as much as I said I was going to before the season. But this playoff run, going to the game last weekend, it's I got that Ram fever right now, guys. I got that Ram fever. And I'm just so excited about what's going on here. I'm just so excited. But anyway, let's talk about, and we're going to talk more about the Rams, guys, obviously next week. And we're going to hype it up this week in the lives for basketball, because this is just a special moment. You know, you have to appreciate these moments. Only 2 times so far, even though it's been only 6 years. I sound ridiculous, but you just never know. You just never know how good your team is going to be. 2 times out of 6. And 2 times in 6 years, my Rams made it to the NFC Championship. So let's talk about the Clippers for a second, who played the Knicks today at Madison Square Garden in the early game. And the Knicks just came out lighting it up from deep. It was unbelievable. Like, they're just Brian Seaman in commentary today said they're 22nd in the league in 3-point percentage. They were just lighting it up. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, anybody with Alec Burks, they were just all throwing it. Evan Fournier, they were all throwing up there and it was going in. I honestly don't think our defensive intensity was too bad at all. Like, we got a couple deflections to start the game, like Nico Batum. He was active. Reggie Jackson's effort was good. Zubac's got a couple of blocks. I don't think that our defensive effort was poor. Zubac started out well, though, you know, with his jump hooks. And I really think that Zoo is really starting to gain confidence here and there. I know I've said stuff like that in the past so many times. But Zubats is really gaining confidence with that jump hook. And I've been saying it for like a year and definitely a couple months this season, because we are so shorthanded. Or we have been shorthanded without Kawhi and Paul, that if Zubats can develop confidence to be a go-to guy in the post, because he's got a solid right-handed jump hook and decent fundamentals for like a good 12 to 15 points a game, and just being a guy that we can say, hey, let's dump it into Zoo. That would be huge. That would be huge for helping us get easy baskets when our jump shots aren't falling. And we missed a lot of open threes today, 14 of 41 overall. And I thought we really gassed it up in the third quarter in terms of shooting too many. But in the first quarter, we just got hit with the Knicks barrage. They were just hitting a bunch of threes. But I thought Reggie Jackson was fantastic. He got himself going, coming off screens, even though they were staying pretty attached to his hip, but stepping back to create space. And in isolation situations, he was crossing some people up. Like, he was going one-on-one against guys when they were switching, and his shot was falling, and he was just feeling good. Him and Zoo were just doing the business. Morris Sr., though, it was not his day-to-day at all. I thought we played better defense in the second quarter and just played better overall in the second quarter. I thought Serge Ibaka came off the bench and gave us a nice lift, hitting his first 3 and hitting a couple push shots off pick and rolls. Eric Bledsoe, when he came in, pretty poor. He took 2 pretty ugly-looking shots and wasn't doing enough on defense to justify that. Like, you know, me doing – I shouldn't say the word justify. Not doing enough to counteract his bad shots. He did have 5 assists off the bench, or 6 assists off the bench, but I don't think Eric was that great. Luke Kennard, though, was really solid. He shot 10 threes, and those were all the shots that he took. He had 14 points. He hit 4 of them, so 40% from 3. We'll take that. But there just was a stretch where we just could not hit in that third quarter. You know, we cut it down to 61 to 66 going into the second half, but we just could not hit in the third quarter. And I got to give the Knicks credit. They tightened it up, and they started calling the game like looser in the second half. They were not calling as many fouls, and we just could not score as much. And that's partially because Marcus Morris Sr. just was not hitting either. And he usually generates those contested mid-range, unguardable type situation shots. He just was not hitting them. And we were shooting too many threes, especially Nico Batum. I think he was really pushing it. He shot 7 shots, all of them threes. And I thought in the third quarter, he took a couple just rushed ones. And I just thought that that wasn't good. Julius Randle, I thought he had a pretty good game, but I see the flaws in him. And I've been saying it for so long. He catches the ball way too high. He'll get a switch and he'll start his attack all the way at the 3-point line. That makes it harder for you to get closer to the basket. Obviously, common sense. It makes it easier to double team, and I think it's easier when someone's being double teamed way out there. It's easier to see the floor as opposed to when they're getting doubled in the post and guys can run behind you for layups behind back door and different angles. When you're in that deep and you have to make longer rotations. When you're double teaming at the top, it's easy to get from a guy in the corner to the wing. Easy rotation. When the pass gets thrown, you rotate from that corner to the wing. And we could create turnovers off double teaming that fool at the top. And I like Julius, but he's not great passing out of the double, as many Knicks fans have told me this season, and I've seen it. And the difference in this game today was RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett which is one of his best games he's had, I've seen at least. He was getting to the basket, and he was taking advantage when guys like Reggie Jackson were guarding him. He went kind of just all the way or kind of bodied him and backed him into like 6 feet, 8 feet, and turned around for a little push shot. He started missing those late in the game, but it's a good sign if you're a Knicks fan, in my opinion, for him to get that deep and start to show glimpses that he can make that shot. Ty Lue said after the game that we said we were going to force him right, and we didn't do that. We did not do that, and he's right. We didn't do that. As far as the Clippers go, Isaiah Hartenstein's still on a minutes restriction, only played 4 minutes, but I thought in the third quarter we just didn't make up that offensive gap. They gained, a 10-point advantage going into the fourth. And we had chances in the fourth. We were cutting it shorter. We were cutting it closer to like 6 points. Terrence Mann, though, a couple times today, especially one time very glaringly in the fourth quarter, he was underneath the basket and he passed it out for a 3. And Terrence Mann is not the type of guy that I have ever had a problem with in terms of going up strong. And he didn't go up strong. I was just I couldn't believe it. And it was just terrible. And, I thought we also double teamed Randall just a bit too much at times because he just, when we have adequate defenders on him, I'm not talking Reggie Jacksons of the world, but when we have regular defenders on him, other guys, I think it was one time we had Brandon Boston Jr. on him, but it was like 6 on the shot clock. And he was like at the 3-point line. I didn't think we should have sent a double. He made the right pass that time, and they made the extra swing to Fournier in the corner. But I thought we should have played him straight up with certain guys a little bit more. But it's picky and choosy. I'm not saying that Ty Lue made any mistakes or anything like that. We just weren't the better team because the Knicks were making shots. The Knicks made their threes. They were 16 of 36 from 3, 44%. They shot a better percentage from 3 than they did in the game. And also 20 of 30 from the free throw line for the Clippers. And, Bledsoe missed 2 out of 4, but that's kind of normal. Zubats missed 4 out of 11. You'd probably like him making 1 more, but that's fairly normal as well. Marcus Morris Sr. missed 1. He was 4 of 5. So that's fairly normal. Luke Kennard missing 1, though, on 2 of 3. Usually you expect him to hit all 3. But it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, when the Knicks are going to shoot like that, we need a better performance from Marcus Morris Sr. and Nico Batum offensively. They cannot combine for 10 points. I think Sr. is one, though, that played worse because Nico does other things to contribute. We've talked about this all the time. He moves the ball quick. He cuts. He plays defense. Sr., if he's not hitting, he's not great. And he was 4 points, 0 of 9 today. A donut shooting the ball. He didn't make 1 shot. 0 of 4 from 3. Needed more. But it is what it is. Clippers move on to 1-2 on this road trip. Our record drops to 23-25. The Knicks, 23-24. I'm sorry, guys. I can't talk about the Lakers. I just didn't watch the game. But they lost to the Miami Heat tonight. The Celtics, Jason Tatum with a 50-point game tonight. He's been in a slump, but 51 points, that could bring his confidence back. He just had one of those nights, and he does that. He has those nights where he goes off. The Chicago Bulls, it's really sad what's happened. Caruso, Lonzo, Zach LaVine, they're really going to drop. I hope those guys are all going to be healthy by the playoffs, though, because this Chicago Bulls team can really make some noise. But It's tough to see what's happening right now. They're going to slip for sure. I see the Bucs overtaking them, no doubt. Atlanta Hawks, 4 wins in a row. DeAndre Hunter's back and kicking. 22-point win today at Charlotte. Huge. Dallas Mavericks beating the Grizzlies. They're also on a roll. So the Dallas Mavericks, if they don't play the Clippers this year, let's see what they can do. Warriors, Curry in a shooting slump, but another win today. Still no Donovan Mitchell, though, for the Jazz. But no Draymond Green as well for the Warriors. I'm going to be announcing my all-star starters very soon, probably this week, because I think the stars are going to be announced. So I'm going to announce them this week, who I'm going with. Other than that, if you guys didn't check out my part 1 of my collaboration with Fabian, Perspective and Knicks fan, longtime Knicks fan, about what went wrong with Melo's Knicks, I did release part 1. Please check it out if you're into that stuff. You have some time on your hands. Leave a like and a comment. Let us know what you think about it. We want to do those rewinds or whatever they're called, going back talking about different series, teams, and stuff throughout my timeline, even if it's out of order. So let me know what you guys think that segment or name should be called. It doesn't have to be just with him. If one of you guys wants to watch a series and talk about it with me, we can collab with that. But what's the name of that kind of segment? The Time Machines, the film breakdown. What could that be? Like the rewind or flashback? I don't know. You guys throw some comments and suggest. But thanks so much for joining me. Go Rams. It's a great night. We're not there yet, though. NFC Championship. We can talk about NFC Championship. Being in the Super Bowl is the big dance. It's an accomplishment in itself, but we're not there yet. No one gets nothing for winning the divisional. You don't get no NFC Championship for winning the divisional. So let's see what we do next week. I'll see you guys later this week. And now we go to the live subscribers waiting oh so patiently in the chat. What's up, y'all? Ooh-wee. Solid attendance, kind of. Rams gave me anxiety, says Maniac Lane. Hey, my man Moises Cañeca, the Bucs fan. He says, congrats, guys, from a Bucs fan. Now go host the Super Bowl. Good luck. Ernesto George says, Dime, we almost choked again. I'm a Lakers fan and Rams. My Lakers suck. The Rams almost gave away the game. Facts. TC, my main man, part of production, says, this is the year for the Rams, I think. Wow. TC, could you imagine, man? Could you imagine Rams winning the Super Bowl? An LA team winning the Super Bowl and you're 24 years old. Sheesh. I just feel like I would be an old man. An old man. Oh, sorry, I was putting the charger in, but I thought I'd be an old man when my football team is in the Super Bowl and wins. But I can't get too excited. We haven't gotten there yet. We got to win, man. We did go out and get everyone, too, as well, right? I mean, we probably should win. Moises Cañeca says, Lakers almost came back, but Bradley and THD had to mess up. Ernesto George says THD is trash. That's just not true. Maniac says, I wake up every day and thank God for Cooper Kupp and Matt Gay. Thank you. Me too, man. I do as well. And also that Glenn Rivers is my coach. Hope you guys checked out my YouTube. I don't know. I didn't post anything that day. Ernesto George says NFC West is the best. Damn right. Yeah, NFC West is definitely the best. This confirms it. 3 teams, that made the playoffs, and the 2 teams left standing are NFC West. Yep, Von Miller was a Super Bowl MVP in 50. Okay, thank God. Tom TC says McVay called a great game. Facts. Kioi 102 says Stafford stopping the turnovers has been key for winning. Facts. TC says, if you win a game with 4 fumbles lost, though, that makes you a good team in a way. I feel you on that, TC. That you can overcome that many turnovers is a testament how good the Rams are. Facts. Wow, we're really that good, man. I cannot wait to beat Northern California, man. We need to beat them. Can't have these Northern California fans talking too much. This is SoCal, baby. The best part of California. Sorry to all you NorCal guys. The 49ers have had our number for years, says Anthony Dumas. Next Sunday's a legacy game for Sean McVay. Okay. McVay. Collins Dank says the Bills game was the best game I watched. Enrique Rodriguez says, what up? What's up, Enrique? E-Ride. MC Zol, Moises Cañeca says, Bills Chiefs was basically the Super Bowl. Hope I'm wrong, though. Get out of town. He also says 3 years ago, same thing happened to Mahomes when he and Brady met in the AFC Championship game. What, the game in Kansas City? The one 2018-19 season? Collins thinks that the Titans are so fraudulent. Man. Anthony Dumas says, the whole NBA season just seems so lame this year. Health and safety protocol got so many players sitting out. 3 straight shitty seasons. I mean, these last 2 years have been terrible, but obviously the third year was 2020 was actually going pretty well, and then stoppage. Maniac Lane says, I'm honestly losing interest in basketball. Why? Terminator 92 says, congrats to your Rams. Hey, thank you, my man. That'd be dope if, guys, wouldn't it be great to see a Dime Dropper team win a championship during Dime Dropper? We haven't seen the Kings win in Dime Dropper era. Clippers, obviously. Rams. Dodgers, technically, but my channel was in its infancy back then, so I don't really count that. And we didn't get a parade, and I would have gotten real playoff footage, so I don't really count that either. Closest we've gotten is that Clippers second round. Chelsea won the Champions League, but I don't have much soccer fans yet, so I don't even live there, so this would be special. I'm gonna be around the Super Bowl fanfare though. We'll get some videos up for that because we're taking advantage of this, like just being around it first time in my life. So we'll get some videos there. I know you guys will be interested in that, and the views are doing pretty well for that Rams video. But so we have more people that are interested in NFL than I thought. Hollow 702 says the Bills game was amazing, but the way they lost is kind of anticlimactic because the overtime rules suck. I feel you on that. I did mention it. Daniel Clifford is finally able to be back for a whole live. Been a while. What's up, Daniel? It's great to have you, man. Anthony Dumas says, if the Rams will have a Super Bowl win in SoFi, that parade going to be lit, and I'll be there for sure. Hey, man, link up at the parade, baby. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves now, but you're right. You're right. Oh, my God. This is unreal, man. Rams! My squad. Fan since day one. Since day one of moving back to Los Angeles in my life, okay? No, that St. Louis bullshit. Not that St. Louis ribs. Oh, so hype. So hype, dude. It's the dream come true. It doesn't feel real. It really doesn't feel real, like this whole Rams and NFC championship again. I'm back in LA. We have a stadium. It's bust down. It's just, I'm a fiend for it. It's unreal. It's just unreal. Anthony Dumas says 49ers fans are going to flood SoFi and flip the noise on it, shaking my head. Oh, it's going to be like 50-50, man. It's going to suck. It's probably going to suck. I'm trying to go to a game, but I don't know. It's going to be too expensive. But I want to try to go to the Super Bowl because it's once in a lifetime for it to be here with our team if we're there. Oh, guys, it'd be such a great video. Let's see. Phil says, you a Chargers fan? Is that a question or a statement? Wow. Any last questions, guys? Nothing? All right, then, gentlemen. I will leave you to your nights. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 a dime. I'll be live. Let's see. Let's see what the next time I'll be live is. Okay, no live tomorrow. No interesting games. By the way, Chelsea beating Tottenham today. Big win, 2-0, comfortable. Clippers and Wizards on Tuesday. Lakers and Nets on Tuesday. Damn, they're playing at the same time. Why do they keep doing this to me? You know what I could do, guys? If you really want, I can recap both of those games if I just go live later at night. So I'm going to do that for you. How about that? How about the whole team? Well, how's that song go? How about the whole gang get... I forgot the Quavo song, man. I forget. How about that? Favorite Rams moment? the moment that's coming up in 2 weeks when we win the fucking Super Bowl in our home crowd, and I'm gonna be sitting there in the Super Bowl, hopefully. I don't know. I don't know about that. But I'm gonna be in the city getting litty. Uh, yeah, it's gonna be unreal. But nah, I mean, if we beat the, obviously my favorite moment is easily last week beating the Cardinals was better than the Saints Super Bowl NFC Championship win. Honestly, it was, because I was there. SoFi, it's just unreal. All right, y'all. Peace out, and I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll go live later so I can watch both games of Lakers and Clippers. Peace.